There he is. Happy Smunday.
Hey, I just pulled a gray hair out of my beard. How's it going?
Ah, it's
So
going. It's going good. How's it going?
I, I pull up my beard and the gray hairs come out really
Okay.
easily.
Are you trying to say something?
Well, yeah, my body is rejecting the gray hair, so it just falls out. Yeah,
Okay. Well, I'm getting all of yours. So you're getting rid of yours, and I'm gaining.
yeah. I think it's all about your personality and your attitude. I laugh a lot. Now I've been laughing a lot the last 2 weeks. Just
Okay.
laughing, man.
I think that's true. I think if you're having fun and you're laughing, then it like reverses. It
Oh, it
reverses some of
really
the
does.
aging symptoms.
You know how they say laughter is the best medicine? Well, definitely.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You know, scream therapy was like the 70s cure to anger. Laughter is also the 70s cure. So
Okay.
laugh and scream, and you're just fine. You can look like you.
So, so if anybody else is in the live chats and they want to talk about their thoughts on laughter and aging, that could be something we could talk about today,
It's
because I
true.
think
True.
being a musician is got two sides of the story, because a lot of the times it's waiting and nothing's going on, and then some of the times it's like the best thing ever. So I don't know if it makes up for the lost times or not, but waiting
But always
sucks.
find time to laugh. It's amazing because I can't tell you like how many people I've worked with professionally, and Maddie, you probably can attest to this. When was the last time you ever saw somebody crack up laughing?
On Smunday, like a couple, like last episode or something, we were laughing like really hard about something. But yes, I know what you mean. Like before that, I don't know. Not
I'm not,
often.
I'm not talking LMAO or LOL. I'm talking about somebody actually cracking up laughing. And
Yeah,
it's very
it's
important
no, not
because
often.
the sense of humor, I always look for sense of humor in people that I'm dealing with. And I always crack jokes, and some of them are uh, maybe uh, inappropriate or politically incorrect, and people are afraid to laugh at them, even though they would laugh at them. They just don't want to be seen laughing at stuff. And my humor is my humor, and it's the same humor as it's really it's Philadelphia humor. Humor like me, you, and Murray, and Matt Cole, and Jess, and Chad, and Hannah, and Ted, and Dan, and everybody has this sense of humor that if you say a joke or something, people nowadays will like dissect it. And it was funny when I saw it, but my reaction. What should my reaction be? Oh, okay. Everybody puts too much thought into stuff, so I just choose. I just want to laugh. You know, and I have a lot of friends that are from the East Coast, and we exchange texts and we laugh. We laugh. We don't just tell each other, I laugh. Like, text somebody, what you just sent me, I laughed at it. LMAO, LOL, whatever. Like, my brother sent me stuff and I laughed so hard. My friend Aaron Ashcraft, who a lot of people in here know, with our band Pro Culture, He sent me stuff, I sent him stuff, and we laughed so hard. And laughing is a human emotion or human response trigger that it's like coughing or yawning or sneezing. It has a purpose. Human beings have this gift to laugh. No other on the planet laughs except maybe like marsupials or monkeys and stuff like that.
Hyenas.
We have the gift of laughter. Well, yeah, they laugh, but it sounds like a laugh. But I think they're just calling out to their cult or their pride, their group to
Yeah.
To find something dead and eat it. They're scavengers. But laughter is very underrated, and I haven't seen anybody laugh in so long. It's been years. It's been a decade since I've seen somebody fucking laugh. It's like usually if I say something that's funny, somebody will give me like this condescending
Right.
But laughing is like, to really laugh, to not be able to control your laughter is so important. And there's a reason why human beings have that gift to laugh. It's the opposing thing of crying in a sad way. If you have something horrible happening to you and you cry, that's also positive because you're showing an emotion that no other creature or living thing has. But laughing does the same thing that crying does. It expresses your emotions and is very important. And I love to laugh. I live to laugh. And for the 2 weeks, I have laughed a lot. So very, very important.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think it's, and I think you're right. There's not many situations that I've been in where there's people that are letting go and just being laughing and just being. It's like when you crack up that hard, you're really like being very vulnerable in many ways.
A very vulnerable thing, just like crying. It's a very it's emotional. And I have to say, the other day I was laughing so hard because I came up with this idea. Yeah, I hope nobody. I hope nobody does it. I hope nobody does. I had this idea. What if? Okay. What if? What if you sent?
What?
What if? All right, it's hard. It's really hard. I've been laughing about this for a week. Okay, what would happen if you sent out Christmas cards on other families' behalf?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, so wait. Are you saying like if I were to send out a Christmas card saying Merry Christmas in July, I send out Christmas cards in July that said Merry Christmas from the Miller family, and it's me that's sending the cards out?
Yeah, but you have a picture of my family on it, and then you have like not in July. We could wait until actual Christmas.
Okay, so it's during Christmas, okay.
Okay, let's say you wanted to play the joke on me, okay? What you would
Right.
do is you would get a recent photograph of my family, you know,
Okay. Wow. Boy, there's so much effort for something so stupid, but I like it. So I got to get a picture of a recent picture of your family.
It's so stupid, but it will cause so much problems. Like, if you're gonna play the joke on me, you find
Yeah.
a recent picture of my family, my three
Yeah.
kids, my wife, and me at a restaurant or something for Christmas, and
Okay.
then a lot of family Christmas cards say oh, here's what we're up to, here's what we're doing. Best wishes, here's to a great new year, whatever. Like, what if you what if you had 200 Christmas cards made up for my family, which is like,
But now, do I send them? Do I send them to my friends in my family, or do I send them to your friends in your family?
Somehow you find out. You do the research, and you find out who the right people you should send them to within my family and friends, because we send cards. Well, we used to send out Christmas cards, but we're like, it's not worth it. It's stupid. But if you get a picture of my family and you put that on the front, a beautiful picture of my family, like going to a restaurant or something, like Christmas time, blah 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 blah, all that bullshit. And then inside you do like an update, and you write stuff like "Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody." Darren's still trying. Darren's still trying to have a music career.
Oh, come on.
His and Felicia's kids are failing out of school. We hope we can get to the end of the year. But either way, best wishes. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. You sent that out to 200 people. I would crack my ass. I would laugh. But I was thinking, what if you made 200 Christmas cards for the Kardashians? Kim is still a bitch. Kris Kardashian is still a fucking asshole cunt. We're struggling here. God help us. Happy New Year. And he sent them out to everybody. What would happen? Because if you sent out 200, they'd see it. They would see it. They would see it, and they'd be like, they'd have to explain, this is not our Christmas card that we sent out. And then it would end up on TMZ and all that stuff, because it's snail mail. We're talking about snail mail, putting a card into an envelope, putting a stamp on it, addressing it, sending it out. It'd be fucking hilarious. Now, I just exposed the whole idea, so I can't do it. Yeah, I can't do it, but that would be hilarious.
I like where you're going with that, because I think there's lots of different variables that we could do, but it's especially with people that within your own friend group, if Joey, let's just say Joey has a friend named Billy who's got a wife and kids, and then Joey sends out these cards with Billy's wife and kids, and he's just saying these things and then sending it out to you're sending it out to the other person's family, but you're addressing it from you though, right? So it's from me. So if I send the cards out with your family picture, it's still the cards from me though.
Yeah, but it's still no, not necessarily.
It's anonymous?
No, it's totally anonymous because
Okay.
you are, all right. Let's say I wanted to do it for it. It would be confusing and chaotic for anyone. You could do it for any celebrity. You could do it for any. You could do it for your neighbor. You could do it for your best friend. You could. It's a total anonymous joke that will make you laugh as you send them out.
You're right.
It would be illegal. I don't know if it would be illegal, but let's say like I was thinking of doing it. I was thinking of doing it for like Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay. Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, everybody knows Jamie Lee Curtis. And she has her husband, Christopher Guest. And Christopher Guest, makes these funny movies. And Jamie Lee Curtis just won an Academy Award and all this stuff. And I always thought about like how like close Jamie Lee Curtis and Christopher Guest were to Felissa Rose and Darren Miller. Very similar, but we're on a much smaller scale, obviously. But it would be funny to send out Christmas letters or Christmas cards, because all celebrities send out Christmas cards. So it'd be funny to send out Christmas cards for Jamie Lee Curtis and Christopher Guest, if you don't know who they are. They're husband and wife, and they have kids and all that stuff. It would just be funny to send out Christmas cards, have them printed. Grab a most recent photo of the two of them together, have them printed on a Christmas card, and then have it printed inside, like in Jamie Lee Curtis's case, like I finally got my fucking Academy Award. I never should have done that shitty Halloween movie. And Christopher Guest is still trying to make something stick, but I still love him anyway. Happy holidays, love, Jamie Lee Curtis / Guest, blah 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 blah. Sign, send them out to 200 people. Send them to CAA. Send them to William Morris. Send them to, whatever. It's going to be a hilarious, like, what's going on here? Like, eventually, it's snail mail. Nobody pays attention to snail mail anymore. They pay attention to the internet. Everybody is watching. All celebrities are watching for things that are said about them on the internet. This is snail mail.
True.
I just think it would be so funny to Jamie Lee Curtis is just an example. Send them out to 200 people. Send them to booking agents, movie agencies, everybody. And then these people would get these Christmas cards. And they'd be like, what the fuck is this? And then sooner or later it would reach the celebrity couple or whoever you're making the Christmas card about.
Sure.
And then it would cause all this hysteria within Hollywood. But just as a joke, as a laugh. But,
Well, it's true. And I think it's a good idea because you're talking about, like, snail mail, because most people would just make a Facebook post and that would just get overlooked in 3 seconds and nobody would care. But when you get a physical letter and you go through the time to take a picture and print it on a card, write things out, put it in the mailbox, send it out, do the research of like who the close relatives and families are of whoever you're sending. Like that is like awesome. Yeah.
Because Jamie Lee Curtis knows the people at CAA and William Morris, and
but she also might if you knew her, you probably know that she goes to a certain coffee shop every day.
Yeah.
And you could send it to the lady at the coffee shop. Because then the lady would be like, Jamie, did you know that I got this letter? Thank you for sending it. And she'll be like, what letter?
And then she would see it and panic. She'd be like, how many of these were sent out? And then she would have to explain to everybody that she didn't do it. And there'd always be a little bit of doubt that she didn't do it. There'd be a little bit, like like for example, in my Curtis guest card, she kind of insults her husband by saying, Christopher is still waiting for something to stick. But, you know,
Right.
so it's like he's always going to have a little bit of doubt that whether she did it or not. So it's just chaos and confusion. It's a funny idea. I wouldn't take the time to do it. I just want to be able to say I coined the idea. But this is an example of old ideas being new, awesome ideas. Nobody expects anything in snail mail. You know, the only thing that people do with snail mail nowadays is maybe mail a bill or send a check, or the most snail mail is used always for holidays and birthdays. So
or it's used for ordering band T-shirts and things like that too.
Right. Well, yeah,
But
you can do that online. I'm talking about putting something in an envelope, licking it, sealing it, putting a stamp on, and sending it out. Nobody is ready for an attack of that kind, and it cracks me up. But I just used the Jamie Lee Curtis Christopher Guest example because I love them, and
yeah,
I would never.
well,
it would be funny, but there's so many other people to do it though. But for me, I love Jamie Lee Curtis and I love Christopher Guest. So for me, if I were to do this, I would want to do it to them just to watch the chaos ensue. Because even if you send one to William Morris, they're going to read it and she's going to find out. They're going to call her. Like, why'd you send this weird fucking Christmas card saying that, you know, Christopher Guest is trying to make something stick this year, you know? But, you know, and I use that example because it makes me laugh, but I would never do any of this.
well, Mag 622 wrote. Mag 622 wrote, "This is something you need Brandon DiCamillo to help out with."
He would probably if he wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's not that hard. I mean, I would love it if it was done to me. You know, my family has like all these really nice photos of us during the holidays, or in a restaurant or a hotel, you know, and anybody could take a picture, or one of the pictures that, you know, we have online, and make a fake Christmas card from the Millers, and it could say like, it could say, Darren's still trying to do the rock thing. It ain't working out too well. I'm still doing movies. Our kids are failures at school. We hope some of them get to college. We hope we make it to next year. Sign the Millers. Send them out. And then it would be funny to get the calls. Yeah. Why'd you send this? Like, what is this? What's going on? Are you guys okay? Like, it's a great idea, but I don't think that, I don't know. I might do it to somebody, but I wouldn't have the time to do it. You know, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. It would just be funny because you can do it to anyone. All you have to do is send it to somebody in Beverly Hills. You only have to make like 10 of them. But anyway, all right. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
You laughed.
What?
Until it hurt. It hurt my lungs. It hurt the back of my head. It hurt like this part of my skull. I had a lump in my throat from laughing so hard. I can't even say I never laughed so hard in my fucking life. But yeah, it'd be funny.
So tell me something, because the other day, I'm changing the subject now, but the other day we had this like huge snowstorm here, but like not weather-wise, but like what's going on? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Like what's going on in California? Anything good? Is it same old, same old? Like, because I'm here in Finland, so I feel like I'm missing out on what's going on in the real world.
Well, you are in a better world. You're in a better
I
world than
know.
us in America or North America. Today was a beautiful day. I had
Yeah.
rain for the last 2 weeks, and it was a little icy even, which is really weird.
Really?
Yeah, it was icy in San
Okay.
Diego, which, I don't believe in this earth
Global
warming,
warming. Yeah.
warming. I don't believe in all that shit because I don't think that it's really,
We can't believe in it because at the end of the day, what's going on is we are on a big floating globe that's flying through space. Like, how can we predict or think that anything is right or wrong? It doesn't make any sense.
no, it's very arrogant for humans to think, oh, we're causing so much horrible things. The planet is
Yeah.
changing. No, it's like if my head was Earth and I had ants, and I had ants on the side of my head, I'm not going to have a really big problem. I would just go like this, which is what we do as humans. Ants are people. We go like this, and we get rid of a lot of them, and a lot of them die, and we have wars and stuff,
Yeah.
and millions of people die. And like, if I had ants, if this was a planet, and ants were all over my face, I'd go like this, and I'd be like, ah, and then maybe someone would crawl down, and I'd be like, But the idea that ants are going to end me, no, we don't have the power as a human race to change any of the Earth's missing a word, any of
Uh,
the Earth. So it's ridiculous to think that we have the power to do that. The Earth has an agenda.
yeah. Yeah, like global warming could just be because the Earth spun 3 degrees weird in the solar system, and now it's getting warmer. It's not because we used our cars.
No. Human beings do not have. We could send out 10 times, 100 times more pollution into the air, and the Earth would just be like, yeah, whatever. But what the Earth would do, since it's a living thing, it would wipe us off the planet.
Yeah, it would just be like, screw you guys.
If we weren't going to be wiped off the planet because of each other, then the Earth would wipe us off the planet if it felt threatened. But right now, it's not a big deal. Like global warming, it never snowed here in Santa Clarita. It snowed a couple days this year. That's not warm. There's no crazy, as far as I know, no crazy, changes in weather across the globe. Just like a couple degrees, people take these things so seriously, and they turn them into these really dramatic, stupid, trying to get attention. These dramatic, things where they come out and they call out this shit about, usually it's like 45 degrees here, and this year it's 60 degrees. Well, come on. Oh, the polar ice caps are melting. Okay. But then they freeze.
So we have some sophisticated audience today because J.C. Mull says, actually, the Industrial Revolution may have saved atmospheric carbon levels required by planet for survival. The atmosphere at the time had 180 ppms, and the planet needs 140 ppms to survive. So
Okay,
that's very,
yeah. That's a lot of
intellectual content.
Yeah, I call it crow talk. I've been calling it crow talk since 1994. Because you know the movie The Crow?
Yes, I know the actress.
Brandon, yeah, you know that, you know her. Brandon Lee in The Crow. I coined this idea of crow talk, where you go into the theater to see this movie, The Crow, and the whole time, you know, the scenario is that these bad guys had this rock rock and roll guy killed, and then they killed his wife or girlfriend, and then he comes back, and the crow helps him find the people that to avenge her death. But all the while in this movie, and I saw it many times in the theater because I worked at a movie theater, and me and my friend were like obsessed with this idea because it was announced that Brandon Lee had been killed on the set. Everybody was going to see The Crow at that time. We went in to see
Oh
it.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I noticed that when we went to the theater, we were watching this movie, and most of the movie was made up of all this, um, I don't know what to call it, like this jibber jabber, like saying things that are simple through really over intellectual, over dramatic uses of speech. You know, instead of saying, it's a sunny day, you would say, today the lightness and the heat of the morning yore is bringing itself upon the earth and causing it. It's like, just say it's a sunny day. Don't say the gods of heat, otherwise known as the sun, are casting down its rays upon the earth. And this day that we know as May 25th, the fifth month of every year, it's like, so it's a sunny day in May. Like, and I coined it crow talk because it's like babble, 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 a bunch of big words to explain a very simple thing. So that's what I just got out of what you just read. There's a lot of expression and ideas and opinions that don't need to be broken down into mathematical figures. You know, the earth is the earth. We're the human. We're guests. We're guests here. Like the dinosaurs were guests. If the earth doesn't like something that we do, eventually, we get shoot. It shoot, you know, the earth will shoot us off. We haven't pissed off the planet enough to be shooed off of it. But I think we're a long time away from that. But I don't think, it's just like, you know what, I grew up, you know, in middle school and high school, they tortured us with this fear of the ozone layer. You got to stop using hairspray cans and all this stuff in the ozone layer. And every time a cow farts, it destroys 0.000000003% of the ozone layer. And every time you
Yeah.
do this, yeah, it's like, and then Earth Day was created out of that, out of the whole ozone thing. And then at the same time, they were trying to scare us with AIDS. So I remember in seventh grade being hit with AIDS, HIV. This is how you get HIV, and this is how it turns into AIDS. And then this is the ozone layer. And if we don't fix this and do that and do this, we're all going to be dead by the year 2000. Everything was by the year 2000. Everything. I remember we were in science class, legitimate science class at our high school. Supposedly, we were supposed to be taught real shit, like facts. I remember in our science class, our teacher said by the year 2000, I'll never forget, 67.5%. That's what she said. 67.5% of all human beings on the earth will have AIDS by the year 2000.
Right.
Basically, I wasted my time. I wasted my time. Why was I in a classroom with other people being told that? That's a waste of my time. Same thing with the ozone layer. You know, it was all about the hairspray, CO2. I forget what it was called, but that is that kind of can like destroys the ozone layer. And then I was like, oh my God, we're gonna die because the sun's rays are gonna come in, and we're all gonna get sunburnt to death. and we're going to get melanoma and all this other shit, and everybody's going to be gone, and we're going to be dead by the year 2000. And it's 2020, and the ozone is repairing itself. So this is all in defense of Jesus Christ. Boy, did I waste my time being told.
I want to read something because Parlay It Up wrote something really, really good, because we're so used to saying like older people are always used to saying, like, you know, when I was younger, things wouldn't have been the same. But this was a good one, because he said, could you imagine if you took a bunch of 8th graders from the year 1989 and then just automatically put them in a classroom with 8th graders from 2023? What the fuck would that be? Those 8th graders, how would that work out? What do you think?
Well, I think, I'll tell you right away, I was a 7th grader, 8th grader in 1989. And if I were to be put into an 8th grade class, which my son is in, he's still being fed fears. You know, they were trying to scare us in 89, and they're trying to scare him in 2023. And that's why you have to, there's a certain time where you have to say, okay, I'm being bullshitted. And fear is easily weaponized all over the world. The COVID thing was over weaponized with fear, and now looking at it, it was something that I think was perfectly thrown into our culture and every culture around the world to scare them and put them back a couple of years. I think that China definitely caused that, because China's in control of TikTok. They're just turning everybody into these idiots that are distracted from real, serious things that come with being a human being. Like for instance, if you're on TikTok and you're a father of a child, and you're on TikTok and your girlfriend or your wife or whoever you're having a kid with is like in labor, but you're like, just a second, honey, I just want to tell TikTok that you're in labor. Like, that's distracting. Like, you should be driving the mother of your child to the hospital, you know? But like nowadays, like, people are distracted so much by this Chinese invention of TikTok that they're setting us up. And I don't want to say this is conspiracy theory, because every conspiracy theory has some kind of basis in reality. People call them conspiracy theories to make them seem less meaningful in reality. All rumors, all stereotypes have some kind of basis in reality. Conspiracy theory is a term that was coined by people that want to say that's a conspiracy theory to make it seem like it's not legit. So I'm not saying conspiracy theory. These are just facts. China owns TikTok. Our kids and our even adults, my age and older, are being distracted by this social media thing where I get attention and everybody looks at me and here's what I have to say. Here's what I'm mad about. Here's what I'm complaining about. Here's what I'm happy about. They get to watch me dance. They get to see me sing. All the while, they're not being equipped and ready for an emergency reality. So that's definitely happening. So it's China. Call me a conspiracy.
Well, it's China. Sounds like Trump. Sounds like Trump. But what no, I'm just saying the word China. When you say it that way, it sounds like Trump. But what I'm saying is, you're right. I think people are like, your child could be crying in the room, and you have to go attend to your child. But before you go into the room to attend to your child, you're like, hold on, I got to send this tweet out really quick.
Yeah. Let me get this tweet up. But it's mostly TikTok, and it's
sure,
because like I do a lot of research, and I don't believe everything I read. I know what to believe when I read it. I know what to believe when I hear it. I don't believe everything I hear, but I know what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. China owns TikTok. China started the COVID thing, apparently. I don't know for a fact that China started COVID, but that's what everybody's saying.
The
But
Wuhan lab. Everybody's heard about it. Yeah.
right. Okay, so it's all China's fault, as far as we know. Okay. China's TikTok is all educational. It's all like math problems and educational stuff about how to get good at this and how to get good at that. But we aren't allowed to see each other's TikToks. Like, you can't see China's TikToks, and they can't see ours. So the whole TikTok thing is designed for the rest of us to be distracted. And it really sucks because my kids are into it a little bit. It's not their livelihood. You know, they spend a little bit of time. Just
well, because you have to be. I mean, if you're a kid today and you're not into TikTok, it's not weird, but it's like it's a bit like, okay, you're not part of the group because everybody is doing it.
But that's a problem because
okay, yeah, maybe.
It's a distraction. TikTok, whether it's China's fault or not, it's a distraction. We're being distracted. Our children, our grandchildren, even people our age, we're all being distracted and wasting our time on something that we think is going to get us fame or attention, so that we're not paying attention to the things that are more important. So we're not prepared for more important things because we spend all of our time on a social media thing. And TikTok is the worst because it's the biggest. And that's where you get to show yourself. You get to show yourself doing things.
Well, let me ask you this: Would you say that people our age are more distracted than younger kids? Because I have a feeling that younger kids are smarter and they know more about it than we do. But you have kids that are at the age.
When we were 10 and 11 and 12, I would say that everybody in our age group, let's say 14. Okay, when we were all 14 back in the 90s, late 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
I'd say 70% of us were smart enough to go on and be successful and be able to hold our own in some capacity or another. Now, there's still smart kids. Like, there's 14-year-olds, that are perhaps even smarter than us, but I'd say they're like 16% of 14-year-olds are that smart. So you get smarter now, but less percentage of smartness or intelligence. And then back when we were 14, we all had a certain level of intelligence to take us to the next level of life, but it was a larger percent, but maybe not as smart, if that makes sense. It's mathematical. But we didn't have TikTok to distract us. We didn't have any. There was nothing to distract us from being idiot. Like, if we wanted to do something, it was all about what we wanted to do. What we saw, we focused on, we did future. We don't have some kind of little thing on the side which is right on this very fucking phone. I could go to it right now and click on it, and I hear TikTok, and I could be like, what do I want to be seen doing today? What can I get attention from? And just the fact that people my age and older are on there trying to get attention for something. It doesn't matter how right they are. Whatever they're saying, they could be totally right. You know, they could be totally correct and genius, but they're using TikTok as the outlet to get this message out. That's the stupid thing. So
I think you're right. I think, you know, when we were younger, we had Encyclopedia Britannica and things like that that was our TikTok. You know, like, you could look up, you could read, you could go outside and play with sticks and build forts and play with Barbie dolls. And today you can do all that in a virtual reality world on your phone.
Right. But the Encyclopedia Britannica, if anybody doesn't know, of course nobody knows, was a series of encyclopedias where you had like a huge, I can't even do it on the phone, a
Yeah.
huge, set of volumes of encyclopedias where you could look up what you were interested in. You weren't thrown everything at you at once, and you weren't thrown stupid shit like opinions and things that weren't facts. Even though back then there were shit thrown at us that they thought were facts, like that by the year 2000, 67.5% of the would have AIDS, and we'd be burnt to death by. So we never know what the truth is. So I think
Right.
the only thing we can do is, first of all, get the fuck off TikTok. I hope that it gets banned. They're talking about banning it, and there's a reason why. It's been talked about that TikTok should be banned because it's a Chinese invention that is given to us and all the other cultures besides China as a tool to distract, whereas in China, it's given to their youth as a way to be educated and learn all the latest things about science and facts and technology and all that stuff, diseases, medical procedure, everything.
But
It's sad that we spend our time watching people that there's dudes that are like playing with their hair and they think they're girls and shit and then there's all these other people that complain about things that aren't important, and then there's people that really don't have an idea what they're talking about, but they know it, so that gets them attention. Now, I'm going to go on TikTok and say things I know aren't true just for the attention of people knowing that I'm
right. And what I'm trying to say is we could actually use those platforms to our advantage if everybody could step back and stop trying to be a celebrity and stop trying to take a picture of your favorite meal before you eat it and stuff. Not that that's wrong. Not that that's wrong. And you can splurge and have some fun. But what I'm saying is if everybody kind of took a step back and just use the platform, if they're going to go on TikTok, go on and just talk about something important. Do a live stream with a friend and bring up a subject and talk about something healthy and constructive and try to bring up people's opinions. But don't go on there all the time just to twirl your hair and say hey, I'm having a bad day today. Explain why you're having a bad day and why don't you talk to somebody else about it, and maybe you can Smunday is a good example. We like to strike up conversations, and then other people might listen to this and they can chime in and get yourself worth what's his celebrity that says get yourself worth from things that are creative and constructive, not boring and self-indulgent.
Smunday is a very special thing because it has such
But
a small audience.
But everybody has the ability to do what we're doing.
Right.
It's just that they choose not to sometimes.
Well, they do, and believe me, if Smunday was to blow up huge, we would have the responsibility of keeping it the same way that we have it going now. We would have to be impervious to corporate sponsorships and all kinds of stuff. And that's where everything goes wrong. Is that people start out like Smunday starts out. It starts out small, and the bigger that it gets, the further away from what they were trying to do in the beginning they get, because they want the money and everything. If Smunday was to be the biggest thing in the world tomorrow, I would say we would have to be able to do it as long as we can still do it the way we are. And then I would like to see who would still want to pitch in. We have to be able to do and say whatever we're saying.